can start over for my virtual people. Hello, I'm Mr. Hurry. Welcome to a math team, Algebra 2. It's good to have you guys in here. I've actually got some virtual people. Most of the time they've taken the virtual people and put them in separate virtual classes or put them in Access. But because that's not an option for math, there is no pre-AP Algebra 2 virtual class. They just shoved them in my class and in Homer's class, so we're having some people that will never be in the building. So you're going to see me sometimes talking to them because they're linking up with the red group. Did y'all hear that? So you guys virtual, follow along with the red group. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing this crazy recording, is I kind of wanted you guys to see my face on day one. So, and I got a brand new computer, which I was all excited about. And then right when they told me I had a brand new computer, I got a positive COVID diagnosis. So that was August 3rd. So I missed all those first 6 days of school. So when I finally got back in the building and I went to hook up my new computer that I was so excited about to my projector, it now runs off an HDMI cord and not one of those big, ugly plug-in cords that screw into your computer. Well, so I order a 60-foot HDMI cord because my plug-in is back there for some strange reason, and it's back ordered 2 weeks. So I kind of wanted them to see my face on day one. This is my old antiquated computer. It's like 8 years old. It barely functions on the technology I have, and it has no webcam on it. My webcam is also that I ordered 2 weeks. So right now I'm winging it, and if you are virtual, you are probably not going to get this video, sadly, until later on in the day, because I'm having to upload through YouTube, and it takes a little longer to do that than VidGrid. So bear with me. It'll work itself out sooner or later, and we'll get a little bit more streamlined once all my stuff comes in. But for you guys in here, I just wanted to talk to you about some things and try to kind of put your mind at ease about this class. If you know anything about me, I'm a pretty nice guy. I've been doing this a long, long time. This is my 28th year at Homewood. You can kind of see from just looking around here that I've had a lot of classes. I think I do a pretty great job teaching this and getting you ready, but you're going to have to do your part. It's kind of fun for me to sit down with Helmers at the beginning of the year and just talk to him about each of you. I mean, if you're new to the class, you might not know Mr. Helmers, but if you've had him, he's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he said pretty great things about everybody, but I did hear a number of just like, yeah, doesn't like to do homework, or yeah, great guy, pretty smart, just doesn't like to do the work. Guys, if that's the case in here, it's going to be a rough year for you. You're not going to have that much fun in here. And then I tend to kind of nag you a little bit because you're falling behind, or nag you a little bit because you're not doing what I'm asking. It's time to step up. Okay, so 10th grade, you'll be happy if you do this class once you figure me out, which does not take long. I'm a pretty good communicator. I know what people don't understand because most of the time, because I've taught this so long, and I think I'll put you in a good place for success if you just help me out. If you're this quiet all the time, we will be so bored in here. Like, I think I have a pretty good sense of humor, but my sense of humor is kind of like a leech. Okay, I'm not like Coach McBride, who just opens his mouth and he's funny. Okay, I'm not like that. I'm kind of like a leech. I need other people to keep my humor going. So if I have interaction with you guys, if you guys are adding to the class and having a good time, I'm going to have a good time. We're all going to have a good time. Okay, and we're going to learn a lot in here too. I got a bunch of stuff I want to walk through, some books I want to hand out, and some other things. So first thing, let me get all this textbook junk out to you guys. Make sure I give you the right book. These books have been around the block. So that's your book. You guys will actually have an assignment today. Every year I give this, it's basically an Algebra 1 review. I don't think you'll have any trouble except for one thing. If I have time, I'll talk about it before you leave. If I don't, you'll all walk in here on Monday and go, hey, what's that thing with closed sets about? You can read it in the book and see, but I'll mention it if I have time today. But if that's the only thing you have issues with, which is probably going to be the case, you're going to be fine. So make sure you're keeping up, but I'm going to talk more about that in a second. All right, and then the book. There's a difference between the textbook and the book. And for you, I'll show you, I have a copy, I took pictures, so there's a link to the textbook problems in here. But let me show you this course on Schoology, so I just want to make sure you're good on this. None of you have had me before, and I know the look of your Schoology is going to look a little different than mine, but basically this is what we got. This book is what I'm about to hand you right now. All right, and this thing, I did this a few years back, and it's probably one of the best moves I've made. But instead of handing you out junk every day, I just put everything together for the 9 weeks. And it's a big packet. This one's like 118 pages. I think one of them's like 168. All right, so the book, I will give you one of these each 9 weeks. And if you've got a dinky little notebook, it's not going to survive the year. Yeah, even one of those. That'll make it this semester maybe, and then you'll have to rotate to a new one. But I started doing this, and this is what I call the book. All the worksheets, like if you see something that says review sheet, it's in the book. If you see something like, oh, we're doing rational functions, blah, 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 it's in the book. And the way I organized it, if you look, it's really pretty great. You flip it open, table of contents, page numbers. If you have to turn something in, when I hand it back to you, you know right where to put it. It's really going to help you keep organized this 9 weeks, I think, especially if you're not an organized kind of guy. This is one of the, like I said, one of the best moves I've made, and it keeps me from having to keep handing stuff to you guys. And I think this is going to be good. But this is what I mean when I say the book. So any worksheet, it's in here. And if I forget to put it in here, then I'll just hand it to you, but you should be able to find it. Now, if I say do page 27, 1 through 15, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the green book, okay? And on the green book, for you today, if you click on, I hope I have it. No, not there, hold on. So Wednesday, red. Yes, see that? Okay, I'll go back. So when you go to Schoology, they're making us across the school board or whatever, everybody has to organize by week. So everybody's going to do that. I don't love that. That's not the way I function. I organize by chapter, but I have to do it because they said it's non-negotiable. So when you come in here, you're going to click on my course. And if you're at home tomorrow, click on the course. This is the book that I just handed you. You can ignore that because you've already got a hard copy. But should you ever like mess up a page and want to reprint it, it's in here. Make sure you don't hit print on all, or it's going to run out 118 pages and burn through your inkjet ribbon. But be careful about that. There's an assignment sheet I'm about to hand you. You're going to probably like that more than you like Schoology, because I've had everything on there and you can kind of look ahead and just see what we're doing for like, I think this one goes maybe a week and a half out. So it'll give you a better idea as opposed to clicking on every day for what we're doing. So I will always have that for each chapter or set of chapters that I put together. But then the week, click on that, and you guys are red. So you probably don't really need to click on it, I guess, today because I'll be explaining everything. But on Wednesday, you'll see red, group, and virtual learners. So all of you virtual guys out there, you're going to be following along with the red group. Make sure you know that. There's only 2 or 3, well actually maybe there's 4. Make sure you're following along with the red group. That's where I'll have your assignments. So just click on that. And that's really annoying. You're going to see this. This is ultra annoying on the assignments because I have a virtual 4th period and a virtual 5th period along with my 4th and 5th. So everything's going to show up 4 times until I figure a workaround on that. Hopefully I can figure something out to kind of just show up once. But it'll just talk about what I'm doing, how I function, and this computer's so old the trackpad doesn't work very well. There's your homework assignment. But guys, you can find all of this on your assignment sheet. So I think you might like this assignment sheet as well or better, but just get a feel for it. And I know at first glance it's kind of wordy, so let me show you. All right, so here's my assignment sheet. Here's an example, I hope. Yes. So if you're virtual guys, you don't have this. Actually, a couple of you might because you picked up your book late, and I snuck it in there, but I hadn't printed that till most of you had already picked up your book, you virtual guys. So, and you guys that are at home, if you happen to look at this video, if you're on the blue team, I'm going to give this to you tomorrow. But make sure you understand kind of how I work here. Check it out. So like today, sadly I'm not printing in color for you guys, but you're the red team. This is kind of what we're talking about. I usually have my assignment, my date, my assignment, and then the homework I try to put on the right. You can kind of see that right here. So those are your homework assignments, and then I will post the key to the homework assignment on Schoology. So there'll be a link to that. I know you're like, some of you are going, sweet, he's putting all the answers to the problems on Schoology. I don't have to do homework. Such a bad idea. Don't do that, guys. It's killing you. I had people do it all last year, and they make high C's and low B's because their homework average is decent and their test grades are like C's and stuff. Don't do that to yourself in 10th grade. And if you pick this class, you kind of have a, I'm not going to say a death wish, but like, it's just so much harder than regular Algebra 2. You won't know that because you're never in regular Algebra 2. But it is shockingly harder, but you guys will do well because you're bright people. Take advantage of that. This is going to set you up for years. This is going to set you up for your ACT. I mean, people who do well in this class, their math scores on their ACT are really good. I mean, even my B students here are like, yeah, I made a 32 in the math, I made a 33 in the math. My really great students in here, 35s, 36s, a lot. So this Algebra 2 class is great. Take advantage of it. Don't look for little shortcuts on ways to beat the system, because there are ways to beat the system in here. You literally can get a 10% of your grade by copying the homework all the time. You can. I'm not going to look over it super diligently. That's on you. But it will cripple you on test days. Okay? So just take my advice, suck it up and work through those problems and become the best version of yourself. And let's try to fill in some of those holes. Did everybody hear of Miss Tyree? Yeah. Oh, you did too. Awesome. If you had Miss Tyree,
on the fourth note, I got perfect 100.
Sweet. Nice.
Okay.
Hey, if you had her, you're very prepared in Algebra 1. She is, I mean, there's sometimes a love-hate relationship there, but I am so grateful that she teaches all of you guys. Everybody? Yeah, because she really prepares you well for this class. There was a couple of years a principal split up the math teams between a bunch of teachers, and we got those kids like 2 and 3 years later, whatever. Awful. I was like, oh my gosh. I could just literally, after 3 or 4 days, I could tell who didn't have her. So be grateful for that. Go back, send her an email and say, you're awesome. But she really did prepare you well, more than you know, and I get to reap the benefits of that. So if you do happen to have a couple holes, though, in your algebra, let's fill them in quickly. I like to think of your algebra ability as a hunk of Swiss cheese, and we got to fill those holes in with something, hopefully knowledge. We don't want to leave those open. And so if you have those, ask a lot of questions. I'm happy to work with you guys. Come see me after school when you're here if you need extra help. Again, I've had COVID. I'm not immune for at least 3 months. I'm immune for at least 3 months. You don't have to worry about getting anything from me. I wish they'd give me a pass in this mask, but I did not get one. Have any of y'all had it? None of y'all? Or you might have and they didn't even know because y'all are like super immune warriors. You don't go down like the rest of us. But is everybody does this make sense to everybody? So tomorrow when you're at home, you're not going to need to watch a video unless you, even the red team, I guess the virtual people will have to watch a video. But you guys that are at home, tomorrow when you look at this, you're going to be writing me a paper and taking a quiz based on all this stuff that I've just handed you. So you can just follow along at home and do that, and you don't have to pick up a video. I'm going to be recording everything I do and posting it for the virtual people. So you can look at that, and we'll just make the best out of what we've got. A couple other things. Actually, a lot of other things. Okay, I've given you all of that. The seating arrangements, and you probably heard this from your other teachers too, they're kind of non-negotiable. I would love for you guys to be able to sit closer to your buddy or whatever, but I actually went around and sat in everybody's seat. Normally I always think about these seats as bad seats, but the visual's pretty good. Nobody's blocking you. Anyway, so I think that's okay. But I have to have you in these seats and not switching, even if somebody agrees to it, because I had to turn these in. I got to turn another one in from a couple changes, but they've got to do contact tracing. So like if Lily gets it, you guys don't want to have to go home for 2 weeks, right? So right now I've got you 6.5 feet and 7 feet apart. You're like even more. So you guys are going to be safe as long as we keep these distances. Y'all with me? Yep. And I know you know that. Also, have you heard they're like one strike and you're out rule for the masks?
Oh yeah.
If you haven't heard that, like if some teacher sees you with your mask down or off, and they take a picture of you or find out who you are, they're going to turn your name in. And they're probably going to call you in and go, hey, that's your strike. They might not, but they say you get one strike. The second time somebody turns you in or sees you without a mask, you're a virtual learner, okay? And in this class, like I don't know normally that means you're in access or in a completely virtual class. In this class, because it's a weird hybrid, you're not going to like the virtual tests. Sorry guys, if you're virtual, you probably won't like the virtual test because I'm going to have to do everything through Schoology and I can't keep you from having open notes. So it's going to be a lot more essay driven and weird kind of ways of trying to get information out of you. So you would rather be in here. Okay, so hey, don't abuse that. Plus I like to see your faces when I can see you. Homework. You're going to have a homework assignment tonight. You're going to have something else we do on Tuesday. You're going to have a video and another assignment on Thursday. A video and something else on Friday because we're going to have a Google Meet and then I'm going to send you to a video real quick. Bottom line, I don't want you turning, if you're in class, turn your stuff in the next time you see me. So you guys, the next time you see me will be Monday, right? Just turn it all in on Monday. It's important for me you put your name on it. I actually have something in the book that talks about how I want you to set up your page. I'm not super anal about it, but I need your name. I need your page numbers and the problems number because you're going to be turning a bunch of stuff in. I got to know what it is. And I don't like to work hard to try to figure that out. I'm trying to get through that, okay? And so everything that's due, just wait on it, turn it in. And like if you come in on Monday and you're like, I forgot my notebook or I got the wrong notebook, do I get 3 zeros? No, I'm going to have some flexibility too, but I keep track of who always is prompt and who always is late. And after a while, I'm going to go, dude, you're going to start getting zeros if you don't start getting this stuff in. But don't email it to me. If you're virtual, you got to email me this stuff and be consistent about it every day. You don't wait. Even though you're with the red group, you need to video me. Just put it in the Schoology or email it to me. Okay, I need you to do something for me. Super, everybody got the phone with them? Okay, I need everybody to text me your name. Now, right now, if you're like, I don't want this creepy old guy to have my phone number. Okay, listen, I'm an old guy, but I'm not a creepy old guy. I'm a pretty good fellow. So, here's why I want it. I am not going to be texting you, asking you, what's up? How's your weekend going? This is like an emergency. if you're not here one day and I realize, holy crap, I forgot to tell these guys something. I know sometimes you guys check Schoology, you know, maybe once a day, maybe you check it late at night and I send it right before, maybe you check it in the morning and I send something late. If I need to communicate something to you quickly, I'm going to have all of you guys in a little group and I'm just going to send a quick text out and say, hey guys, I forgot to mention this, blah. Okay? So just text me your first and last name. I'm going to get it all in my system. And again, if you don't want to do it, if right now you're like, I don't want to do this, then just come talk to me about it. But it's going to, last year, when I did online testing, which we might all be sent home in 3 days and be virtual for 3 weeks. If that happens, and I'm not going to have a plan unless I can contact you real quickly. It was a lifesaver in the spring once I got everybody's number. It really helped. So hopefully you don't have a problem with that. And listen, when you're out of this class, you can block me if whatever. Again, I rarely, it's kind of nice every now and then, I'll still get people from the past that'll text me and go, hey, Mr. Rube, I saw this, look at this image, it reminded me of you. And it's nice to be able to keep up with people, but whatever. This is for me, for urgent messages only. Most of the time I'll communicate if it's not urgent through Schoology. Are we good? So, anybody got any questions? Okay, oh, virtual people, can't read that. So, just text me your first name and last name. I'm just realizing now that my first period pre-cal did not read that either. Pretty smart thinking there, huh? Again, I'm figuring stuff out as we go. All right, what else? Oh yeah, you guys are fourth period. So if there ever is like an online quiz or something that I do, you guys need to know that this is my period with you. Okay, virtual people, if you're in fourth period, I'm going to need you in this fourth period. I may have to work with you separately and get you linked up with fifth period from time to time, but we'll work on that. I'll talk to y'all about that later. But I need you guys to be able to be available fourth. Now, if you look through your assignment sheet and it says, watch a video, do the homework problem, well, then you don't need to be here. You don't need to be ready here at fourth. You can do whatever. Sadly, because of my technology issues, that video may or may not show up on a timely fashion. Like I'm recording this right now. I have off the beginning of fifth for 15 minutes before we start doing the lunch thing, and I'll talk about that if I have time, because you're not in here lunch, but I'll give you a heads up for the thrill that lunch will be this year. It may take me a while to get it uploaded until I get a better computer system set up here, because right now I'm just crippled because I don't have webcams and all that kind of stuff. So until that point, I'm having the video, upload it to Schoology, and the upload times are, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 4 hours. This spring, once it took a day and a half to get it up. Now that was from my house and we have slower upload speeds. But hopefully I'll be able to get this stuff done quickly. We'll see, but just be patient with me if you're at home like tomorrow. But non-negotiable, you need to log in with me for the Google Meets. And that's going to be an interesting thing too, just because I've done some Zoom stuff, but I haven't started up a Google Meet, and I played with it. Think I got it down, but again, I'm an old guy, man. Technology impaired sometimes. But we'll do the best we can with it. But there will be a video that I'm going to post on Friday, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I can't afford to lose a day and just have a 20-minute Q&A. So what I'll probably do is I'll have that meet, and you guys will all be here, and I'll say, all right, guys, y'all have any questions on homework? Are you good? If you're not, I'm like, all right, just go watch the video. And I'll have a video posted for you for a lesson. And I do pretty good videos from what I've heard. I explain things pretty clearly. And if you have questions on that, after looking at the key and you're still struggling, you can always send me a message and we'll work that out, or I can talk about it the next day I see you. Are we good so far? Okay, but more than likely, unless you have individual questions on that meet, it's not a big deal. And also, do you guys know that you have to log in when you're at home every day by 9 o'clock?
Yes.
You guys know that? Because I'm not keeping track of it. I know some teachers are like, I'm going to check to see. I'm not. If you're present, I'm like, hey, I see you. Great. We're good. But otherwise, you're on your own with that. So make sure you do log in. But on Google Meet days, I don't know what your time is. Do y'all know the times for the Google Meets?
We've been, like, the teachers have shown to us, I think.
Okay. Yeah, the whole thing starts at 8:30, but you guys in here. So for fourth period, and again, the Google Meet days, that's non-negotiable. Also, you have to be there for that time period. So for fourth period, everybody that I teach, including the virtual guys, you guys will be 9:45 to 10:05. But I gotta be honest with you, rather than have that and a 50-minute video to watch, what I'm probably gonna do is you guys are gonna log in, and I might even tell you ahead of time, just go watch the video. And then you can just log in on your own and not worry about it. But like this time, we're just gonna do a test run of this Google Meet. But unless you have a question, I'm just gonna wanna see your faces. And I'm like, all right, good to see your faces, guys. Any questions? No? All right, go to Friday's assignment, click on the link and watch the video. And don't be afraid of doing that increased speed on the video. A lot of people think I talk fast, but talking super fast is a problem when you can't record me talking. But if you can, you can't rewind me. But on a video, you can rewind it. So I think I'm pretty, you can handle me at 1.25, 1.5. I had some guys say, oh man, I had you at 3. And I'm like, at 3, you better be really good. At 2, you better be really good. I wouldn't encourage that. 1.5 though, try it out. If you can handle me at 1.5, man, you'll shave off 33% of that video and knock a 50-minute down to a 33-minuter and knock your homework out. You'll be done a little bit more quickly. Yeah, man.
Friday, we have the Google Meet stuff, and then Thursday, do we have Google Meet, or do we just have like work to do?
On Thursday, for tomorrow, you guys are going to be working on a paper for me. And if you just open up Thursday's assignment for Red, you'll see that. It talks about a paper. The instructions on the paper I want you to write me are in the book. And I even put my paper in there. It's basically, I want to know who you guys are. I don't know anything about you guys except that you have a brother, and you have a brother, and you have a sister. Anybody else I've taught sibling? Oh yeah, and you have, well, you got a ton of brothers and sisters, but I've taught one of yours. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's one of my son's good friends at Auburn. Smart dude. Actuarial science, right?
What's that?
He's studying actuarial science up there? No. I think he and my son are studying the same thing. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, a lot of you guys, I know a little fraction about you, but not much. So this paper I'm going to have you write tomorrow, and you can read about it. It gives you instructions. But just sit down. Again, you can read mine or read my little hints of maybe what to include. I just want to know you guys a little bit better. I'm only going to see you guys 2 days a week. It takes a while to know somebody 5 days a week of seeing you guys to really get a feel for you. Plus, I can only see your eyes. So I'm going to have you attach a picture. Don't put a picture of you standing on top of Mount Shasta, where it looks like, oh. Do something like this where I go like, that's what that person looks like. And help me out and just have fun with it. Most people just sit down and start typing and go, blah, 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 and just finish up. And it gives you all the instructions for that. But that's what you're doing tomorrow. And I'm giving you a quiz. If you look at this the Schoology page.
Hello?
Hello? Okay, so go back to right here. If you go week, August, is that right or is it? Okay, so if you click on that week and then go to the bottom, there's a Schoology quiz. You can take it 1,000,000 times. It's got 40 questions, so you probably won't want to take it 1,000,000 times because it takes a while to go through it and it changes the order every time or whatever you take it. But this is about anything that's in my syllabus, which is in the book, anything about my Who I Am, which is my Who Am I paper, and anything else that's in there. If you read through I think it's like page, you'll see it. As soon as you hit math, then quit reading. But it's all the stuff that leads up and talks about it, and it lets you know who I am. And I'm just going to give you a quiz on that because if I quiz you, then I know you've done it. And I count it like a 20-point quiz grade, so it's half a problem. So if you get a perfect score on it, you're going to get a 20 out of 20 to start your year, which is kind of nice. And if you make a 10 out of 40 or whatever you get, if you miss 30 questions, keep taking it. Okay, most people kind of bail once they get about 35 or 38 of them, but a lot of people are like, heck no, I need full credit on this thing. So I would encourage you to try to get a perfect score, and if you find an error on it, tell me and I'll give you a bonus point. Because every year I forget to change certain questions. But I think I got them all. All right, what else? Oh, also virtual people. If I haven't said this already, and I may have, but if you're virtual, follow along with the red team. And remember, Helmers and I and a couple of the teachers are really doing you a favor by allowing you in this class. Have I said this already? Maybe not. Most virtual people are in a separate virtual class or in an access course. And we said, yeah, throw them in there because we wanted you to be able to take this course. But it's a lot of extra work to do this, and I'm probably gonna make some errors. So if you're virtual at home and you're never gonna be in here, if you have issues, you've got to contact me, 903-3824, or email me and just ask me a question, and I'll try to get back with you, because unfortunately you won't be able to troubleshoot my mistakes if I make any, or if I omit something for you guys. And then last thing, maybe not last thing, almost last thing. Did any of you guys, you don't even have to say yes. I imagine there may have been a couple of you, because there were tests that were open notes and everything was a little bit slowed down, that you really kind of enjoyed last spring, okay? Sadly, you enjoying last spring means there are probably some holes in your learning. Now, some of you are like, no, I studied, I prepared, I was, everything I could be, awesome. But, I know me, if I was 16, I would have probably taken the path of least resistance to get my A. What that probably means, though, and it really means it from Helmer's class, Helmer's used last spring traditionally to get you ready for this class. He covered sequences and series and conic sections and all these other things. He didn't cover that material, or all of it, with you guys. So in this class, it won't be the second time you've seen it. It'll be the first time you've seen it. But I still have to get all of my stuff in. So there are going to be times when I'm going to probably be talking to you guys and I'm going to go, wow, they really don't know this material. And it's probably because Helmers didn't get to it, because they made him give a lesson every other day instead of every day. And that's okay, because he was just going to get you ahead, but it just means you guys may have to work a little harder, and there may be a little bit more holes in your Algebra 1. And we got to fill those holes in as quickly as we can. Okay? And then calculators. Who in here has a graphing calculator? Nobody? Okay. You do not need one in here. Who in here has a scientific calculator? Which means like a little function calculator with sine, cosine, tangent? Surely you can. Okay. The only one you need in here is a scientific. Okay? We're not even going to use them until March or April, because I want you guys to be good and prepared and be able to cognitively think through calculations in your head for all the math tournaments that we probably will not attend. They're trying to work out a state tournament that's online, which I kind of hate, because we have a nice little run of state championships, and I don't even have the 19s and 20s up. So we have a bunch of state championships, so I love when we go there and dominate. It's kind of fun. But we may not have them this year. I don't know. They're working on it, but we'll see what happens. But I want you guys to be really good in terms of calculating stuff and not having to depend on a calculator. But at some point, we need them for graphing and all that kind of stuff. Here's my advice. If your parents are like, man, the calculator that we're going to use next year is this. It's the TI Inspire CX2 on Amazon, and I'm no fan of the evil empire of Amazon, but whatever. Sadly, it's the cheapest place that I've seen. It's $129.99 plus tax plus shipping, unless you're Amazon Prime. If you're Amazon Prime, no shipping. So you're looking at $140. That's the calculator I love to work with in my math team classes. You can get by, especially if you're like, man, I ain't taking this class next year. You don't really know that now, but if you wait, you don't need it now, so you can wait. But if you're like halfway through the year and you're like, man, this class is brutal, I'm going back to regular pre-calc, that's fine. I mean, really, you'll be okay. You could use that is okay. I'm going to put sad face because I don't think it's as good a calculator, but functionally it's fine. There are a couple times when you're going to go, crap, this doesn't have a cotangent button. That sure would have been nice. And believe me, it's awesome for a cotangent, a secant, a cosecant. This doesn't have it. This does. Okay? So I love this calculator. I will use it in this class. Well, no, I don't need it in this. This class, all you need is a scientific, $12 at Walmart or less. You'll be fine. But if your parents are like, yeah, you're going to need one, let's go ahead and buy you one, get that. And go ahead and get used to it. And if you go ahead and get used to it, by the time you're taking AP tests or standardized testing, which you can use these with, you'll be comfortable with it, you'll be ready to go. Otherwise, if you buy this next fall, and then you're already taking the ACT a month later, you're not going to know that calculator super well, and you're going to be like, ugh. So I would encourage you to go ahead and get one. This new edition came out last year, so it's one of the brand new ones. It probably won't even change for another 6 or 7 years or more. But don't get this. There's one that says TI Inspire CX CAS. Don't get that. That has a computer algebra system built into it, which is awesome. Like literally, you can type in an equation and go factor, and it'll factor it for you. It'll give you answers. Instead of like decimals, it'll give you answers like square root of 3 over 5. I mean, it's awesome, but you can't use it on the ACT, you can't use it on the SAT, you can't use it on AP tests. It's just too much of your brain. It's just too awesome. So they won't let you use that. Don't buy it. If you do buy it, I don't know that it's going to help you out a lot in here because we don't do a lot of factoring like that. It's not super easy anyway in pre-cal and calculus. But don't get it. They're not going to let you use it. And if you use it and you get caught, you're going to have your scores tossed. So don't get that one. Get the CX2. But yeah, I know it's sad. And this one's almost as expensive, although every now and then these go on sale. Because they've been around. This is early 1990s technology. It's good and it's functional, but it's antiquated and this is just more of a Windows-based system. It makes more sense. You can store stuff on it. You could literally type a paper in there, store it, and you could type notes, store it, take it into your AP test if you needed it. So really a lot of advantages with this that you're not going to get with the 84. But you do not need it in here. Scientific's all you need. Although I'd go ahead and get one. I got my kids them in 10th grade. I was kind of a cheapskate and I went and got them used. Which is not bad. I mean, I go to eBay and got them for like 70 or 80 bucks as opposed to 150. And that might be an option for you. If you do get something off of eBay, let me give you a warning. Make sure if you buy something off eBay that you're able to see the screen and that it's not scratched. Because I made the mistake of not thinking about that, and it came in and there was a scratch in the middle of it. And then when you're graphing, sometimes it'll block out certain numbers or whatever, and it really made it hard to read it. So I'd be careful on eBay if you do, but sometimes that's a good option for you. And, okay, time do we end in here? Got 7 minutes? Okay, so make sure tonight you read the beginning part of the book, okay? If you're flipping through that, you'll see it's really great, got a table of contents, all that stuff, but then you'll start getting to the content that I want you to know. My syllabus is in there. My syllabus actually went viral a few years back, and like I had people calling me from CBS and ABC News, and there was a website that got 1 million hits. I used to tell my kids, my daughter has like 4,000 Instagram followers. I'm like, I got 1 million hits. How you doing? Anyway, but it actually got a little national attention, but it was whatever. It was odd. But read my syllabus, read my Who Am I paper, and once you read all that stuff, tomorrow while you're working on your paper, you can take that little quiz, and you'll see the link. It's that green puzzle piece. So take that quiz and work on the paper. None of it's due until, I think I made this thing due Sunday night at midnight, the quiz. But you can see that. I think I mentioned that on Thursday's assignment for tomorrow. But today you're going to be working on some book work. We good? And you know where to find the page? The little link to the book is in here?
I'll find it.
Yeah. Look in there on Wednesday and click on there Wednesday. Red team. So if you're virtual, guys, if you're virtual, there's your textbook for tonight. If for some reason you're blocked out, send me a text real quickly, and I'll fix it. All right? Also, if you want your desk wiped off, I'm ADD, whatever. I forget stuff. It's not like burning in my brain. You're welcome to grab a wipe Or if you're like, I'm freaked out about wipes, I'll wipe it off, I don't care. There's only a couple people that sit in your desk, especially if you're in the back, because I have some classes that are like 5 kids, 6 kids, and they sit in these, so I'm alternating a lot. So like, I think only one other person sits in jacks all day, but if that's freaking you out, if you're like, oh my gosh, I would just wash my hands a lot. But if you want me to, remind me, because I can promise you, there's 5 million things going through my brain, and I'm unmedicated, and I function very highly, but little things like that I miss. So if you need that, let me know. And anybody got a question at this point?
So our first thing to do Friday.
You don't have anything you're going to hand me until Monday, but make sure you take that quiz before midnight Sunday night. And get that on.
Will we need to bring this back to class every day?
You know what? The textbook, good question. In the past, I've had a classroom set. They told me to pack them up, and I can't let you use those because everybody's touching them. So that's a good question. I would say that most of the time there's not time in class to actually do homework because I usually go right to the bell. But if I need to, I'm not totally opposed to just putting the link in there. So if you need to pull it up, and we happen to have time, great. Worst case scenario, I can open up my teacher's edition and you can just come take a picture of it. So we'll work that out, but I would leave a math book at home. I got 3 more minutes. Okay, last thing. And I'll probably find another thing to tell you. People go, Mr. You say last thing like 20 times a day. This would have been on your summer reading. I did not give anybody summer reading today, this year, because it was just more of a hassle trying to get it to you. But here's something that I love doing. It really helps us out at math tournaments and really the rest of your math life. But here's what I want you to start memorizing. I need you to know all of the powers from 2 to the 2nd through 2 to the 12th. And I don't mean know them like this. Hey, what's 2 to the 10th? Well, hold on a second. I know that 2 to the 5th is 32, and another 2 to the 5th is 32, and 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 5th is 2 to the 10th, so I'm just going to multiply 32 times 32 out. No, I want to be able to say, what's 2 to the 10th? I want you to be able to tell me it's 1024. If I say, hey, know everything from 3 to the 2nd through 3 to the 8th, I want to be able to say, hey, what's 3 to the 5th? And I want you to be able to say 243. If I say, hey, what's 4 to the 6th? I want you to be able to say 4096. I want you to be able to say 5 to the 6th. It's 15625. I want you to know them real quick. I need to brush up on mine. I need you to know them like that, okay? So I'm going to give you powers quizzes. I'm not going to give you one this week because I'm done seeing you after in the next couple minutes. But starting next week, be ready to walk in here on Monday and take a powers quiz. Now, the upside of the power quiz is this. If you can do this in under 2 minutes, you'll get an A. Most people do it in under 2 minutes. If you can do it under 1.5 minutes, you're going to start getting bonus. You'll get 100 at 1.5 minutes. Less than 1.5 minutes, you'll get bonus points. The all-time record is a guy named Hamilton Simpson. Brilliant kid, went to Harvard Law. He did it in 27 seconds. To put that in perspective, and I've had a couple people, Reed Jeffries did it in 30 or 31 seconds, I think, if I remember correctly. I know she was in the 30s. So you can, and if you get in the 30s and like that, you're going to be getting 25 points out of 20. It's a 20-point quiz. So if you really go home, like right now, if you go make flashcards, that's what I would do. Make flashcards from 2 to the 12th, the 3s through the 8, 4s through the 6, 5s through the 6. And that's it. I'm not going to put 7 to the... It's not.
Information about the power quizzes in the book?
It's sadly not. You can take a picture of the screen if you want on the way out. But practice them this weekend, because a lot of people roll, like I remember Reed, her 10th grade year, she rolled in here and the first day did it in 48 seconds. And that's a huge time for the first time. And in 48 seconds, she knocked it out. I think she got a 23 out of 20 on her quiz, got 3 bonus points. And I gave a quiz like twice a week for the first 3 or 4 weeks. So she ended up, by the end, she had racked up like 18 bonus points. She had 104 average the first semester. And a lot of it was due to all the practice points that she had built up here. Oh, and one other thing, if you're looking in your book, there's this little thing that says ciphering. I'm cutting out ciphering this year. So that's going to be huge for you if you've heard anything about ciphering. Some people love it because they can get bonus points. Some people hate it because it's like a whole outside of class lesson, I'm not doing it because I need to make up some of this time. So that'll be a little bit of a gift to you. It's all math team stuff, but we're not going to be doing that at least this fall, because I'm trying to find some extra days for the time that I'm going to probably end up being slowed down. We good? I'm normally not going to talk like I'm in, like it's running out of style. Hopefully there's more dialogue. Again, I hate quiet classes. I love it when you guys are chiming in. But anyway, have a great day. Hang in there with the masks. I need to turn off my rig.